Let's look at some classic conditional statements. On the next few slides, you will see examples of some classic situations used in programming. Here's one. Say you want to know if a person is old enough to drive. You could say something like, if age greater than or equal to 16, system out println, okay to drive. To make this into a two-way statement, you might do this. If age greater than or equal to 16, system out println, okay to drive, else system out println, too young to drive. In this program example, we test the program using three different values. Using the value 12, you can see the result is too young to drive, because 12 is clearly not greater than or equal to 16, and so the else is output. Using the value 16 makes it true, because 16 is indeed greater than or equal to 16, and so okay to drive is the output. 20 as well, because it is clearly greater than 16. You saw this briefly in an earlier lesson, a conditional involving a calculation to see if a value is odd or even. If num mod 2 is equal to 0, system out println even number, else system out println odd number. Here you can see again using the value 12, because 12 mod 2 is equal to 0, there is no remainder when you divide 12 by 2, so that makes the situation true. We output even number. Using the value 25, the remainder when you mod by 2 is 1, which is clearly not 0, and so the else is executed, and the output odd number happens. This one checks if a value is a multiple of 5. If num mod 5 is equal to 0, system out println multiple of 5, else system out println not a multiple of 5. In this program example, we used several values. 1760 clearly is a multiple of 5 because when you divide it by 5, you get a remainder of 0. Negative 1324 is not going to have a remainder of 0, so it is not a multiple of 5. 2345 is indeed a multiple of 5 for the same reason. A useful string class method is the length function. This returns a value that represents how many characters are contained in a string. Hello.length returns the value 5. This command can also be used in if statements. See an example on the next slide. Say you want to classify a string as short or long, short being length of 8 or less, and long anything over 8. You would do this. If word.length is less than or equal to 8, system out println, this is a short word. Else, system out println, this is a long word. In this program example, we use the word hello as a test data, and it senses that the length of hello is less than or equal to 8, because its length is 5. And so it says this is a short word. The word goodbye has a length of 7, and so it is indeed still less than or equal to 8. So the output is this is a short word. The word salutations is clearly greater than 8, and so the less than or equal to 8 evaluates to false, and it outputs this is a long word, the else instance of this comparison. In a situation where more than two outcomes are possible, you can chain together multiple if-else statements like this. If grade greater than or equal to 90, system out println A. Else, if grade greater than or equal to 80, system out println B. Else, if grade greater than or equal to 70, system out println C. Else, system out println F. We test this program with the value 100, and clearly 100 is greater than or equal to 90, and so A is output. Nothing else is output. The second one, 88, clearly the first part is false because 88 is not greater than or equal to 90, so we jump to the next else and then another if, and that evaluates to true, and so B is output. The third one, same way, but the first two comparisons fail because 75 is not greater than or equal to 90, neither is it greater than or equal to 80, but it does test true with greater than or equal to 70, and so C is output. The fourth one fails all three if statements, and so it falls to the final default one, which outputs F. In this lesson, you learned how to make decision programming statements using if, one-way situations, if-else, two-way situations, and if-else chains, multi-way situations. This was done by comparing two values using one of the 6 relational operators: less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, is equal to, not equal to, creating Boolean expressions which result in a Boolean condition of either true or false, and using these expressions in the if and if-else statements to control the results of the program.